Have you ever asked yourself, which piece of technology left the biggest impact on human history? Well, one could argue paper is that very piece of technology. Technology is the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, and paper definitely fits that description. In fact, it may be one of the most influential technologies and is essential for our everyday lives. Now, before I get started, I'm going to have to talk about the history of paper. And people have been using paper for centuries, dating back to 200 BC in China. And this paper use spread throughout the world, starting in Asia and then the Middle East and then Europe as well, and then getting into Africa and such. Now, before this paper was made, people were writing on things like bones, bamboo, rocks, like basically anything that they could find, because there's really nothing to record with, and that was easy to transport. And paper was the answer that everyone had been looking for, and really changed the whole aspect of human technology after that. Now, after the Industrial Revolution, paper really made a big jump, because before that, paper was really expensive to produce, and it was just not accessible to the everyday common man. And because of the Industrial Revolution, literacy rates actually jumped, because paper was so easily accessible due to the invention of steam-driven paper-making machines. Now, before these steam-driven paper-making machines were invented, people were actually using human-powered paper mills, or animal-powered paper mills, or even water-powered paper mills. But before the Industrial Revolution, paper was a labor-inducing practice, and it really couldn't have been done without a lot of hard work. But thanks to the steam-driven paper machines, paper was a lot easier to be made, and again, literacy rates really improved because of this. Now, I know that you might think that because we're in an all digital world now, paper may not be that important to our everyday lives. It might have been important then, but it's not that important now. But I assure you, you are very, very mistaken. Paper is very important to how we live our everyday lives today. Now, how are we going to make posters without paper? How are we going to make announcements around our campuses without paper? It's really paper. The thing about paper is that it's very malleable, and it's very easy to get the information out there quickly and cheaply. And paper has just really made it easy for people to use the technology in a inexpensive way. And not only just for learning or reading or writing, but also for art. People use paper for paper maches, or like even paper airplanes. Basically, paper can be folded and made to do all sorts of things, and you can't say the same for things like a laptop or an iPad or a desktop. Paper is just a technology that it can be shaped and molded, and can have several different uses. And it speaks to why it has been such a crutch for human technology to date. Technology really couldn't have progressed and improved how it has without paper, and that's why it is such an influential and important piece of technology. And in conclusion, paper is a pretty simple piece of technology, like I said, but it is essential to our daily lives, and it has influenced the course of human history in many different ways, from our literacy rates to being able to record information, to make new and better technologies, and of course, it has made a platform for how we live our everyday lives today, from our test taking to turning in papers handwritten when we were in elementary school, and just printing out several copies for everyone to hold in their hand and have in front of their faces rather than on a digital screen. Again, paper is important for how we live our lives today, and we wouldn't be where we are in human history without it. Thanks.